Hey there, Johnny Daniel, your Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator. Hey, I thought I'd show you how my stickers are made from start to finish, and then show you a little bit on how they're colored. So, I probably should get started, huh? So, on my table, I have a punch, I have an ink pad, I have my horse, I have a blender pen, I have my watercolor pencils that I'll be using for the second sticker. So just FYI, I've got some scratch cardstock here, I've got my sticker machine, and I've got my die cutting machine, which you'll see in just a second. So I figured I'd get started so this isn't like 45 minutes long. So I've got my horse head that I'm going to use. I've got pecan pie or pecan, depending on where you're from. So I'm going to grab my horse here, and I'm going to ink him up really good, and then I'm going to stamp him. Okay, and later I'll clean that, but first things first, we got to close this. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my blender pen, and I have a piece of little just scratch cardstock because you always want to make sure it's clean before you start. So I'm going to grab some of the ink here, and I'm just going to color this guy through. This is a blender pen, which is glycerin based, and this just floats my water-based color from my ink pad. Kind of cool, right? Now if I need more, can I get it off the pad? Yeah, definitely. But I'm just kind of doing a light touch here just to have a little bit, not a ton. So I actually want to blur those lines because that's where I'm getting my ink from. And we'll see how it goes, right? So I'm not doing any other colors with this. I'm just simply filling in. So as you can see there, clean my thing off, right? Okay. So as you can see, there's my colored horse. And then I'm grabbing my 2 3/8 inch circle punch. And is that a little too far in? Yeah, so let me grab my scissors real quick. Cut less of a border. See, that's where I get my scratch stuff from, right? Cut less of a border. And then we center this here. I always do my punches upside down so I can see what I'm doing and where it's going exactly. And that is 1/2 of a sticker. Because now I'm gonna roll this guy, as long as I get my machine correct. I'm gonna roll this guy through my laminator / adhesive. Tuck that into there. Okay. Cut that off. Okay, now the fun. And you're like, wait, what were we doing before? Just a little bit more. I'll just say it that way, huh? So now I'm gonna move this over. I'm gonna grab my die cutting machine. This is a platform that does a little bit of pressure so I can cut things. So I'm gonna grab my horse, I'm gonna flatten him out. And then this is a die. So this is a piece of metal and it's got a raised edge on that side. And so when it pressures through, the raised edge cuts for me. So I'm gonna center that on there. And if it moves, I can change it, which it did, of course. So this is every single sticker. This is what happens, you guys. So let me get this set. Oh, it keeps moving. Let me flatten this back out. Hold on. Sometimes they curl a little bit in that sticker machine. So I gotta be patient and work the kinks out, as it were. So there we go. Put my other plate on top to get that pressure going. Hasn't moved much, so we're good. And then we're gonna flip it through. And when it pops, it's done. There we go. That was the infamous pop. All right, so let's get this done. Move this out of the way. Okay, so now what we have is, if we press this to seal it in really good, now we have a horse sticker. That's one sticker. So yeah, it's a labor of love, we'll just say it that way. Then I've got my race car, and I've already colored in a whole bunch. These are watercolor pencils. They are based in, let me guess, water. So I'm going to color in the helmet. Okay. And then I'm going to take a blender pen and I need my scratch. Okay, now I know it's clean because we just did this. So I'm going to go from light to dark, and I'm going to float my watercolor pencil so it doesn't look so scratchy and it looks more painted, shall we say. So I'm going to do my red here because that's my detail. So we're going to do the number. Okay. We're going to scratch off that red. See how there's a little bit right there? So I've done the red. Now I'm going to do, let's do the green. So I'm just going to float this through so it looks a little more finished. And I'll show you in just a second with the tires, it'll be easier. Scratch off that green. All right, now I'm gonna pull that gray through. Pull that gray through. Where else is my gray? I don't know, because I use black here, but it's okay. So I'm just gonna pull this through. Pull this through. And this is just floating the color so it doesn't look so scratchy, for lack of better terms. See how scratchy that looks? See how scratchy that looks? Not finished. So I'm going to float this, and we're going to float this, and we're going to be able to see the difference big time. So with this, do you see how this one looks more finished and this one, ooh, that went out of focus, sorry about that. And then this one looks more scratchy. Oh, hold on, bring that back into focus. Do you see that? See the difference there? Okay, sorry, it's having trouble focusing that close. So I'm gonna finish this real quick. And then we're gonna have another sticker. So I just wanted to show you, yes, we'll be open on Saturday, not Thursday, but yes, on Saturday. So I hope to see you at the 29 Palms Farmers Market. And I'll have, well, I'm working on just a few stickers. So I got some already, but plenty more where they're coming from. So hope to see you soon, and hope to see you Saturday. Thanks so much, and I hope you enjoyed how a sticker is made. Thanks.